All right, welcome to Speak for Yourself. I'm Jason Whitlock. That's Marcellus Wiley, that dude.
Yes, sir.
Coming up, we'll tell you if Sean Payton just trolled Roger Goodell.
And I've got another installment of the Emmy Award winning.
Da-da-da-da.
That dude's dude. But we start every day with Whitlocks.
The Patriots are the most hated dynasty in NFL history. Much of that hate can be attributed to the fact that they're the greatest, longest-lasting dynasty in NFL history. 2 decades is at least 1 decade too long to be on top. Jealousy fuels 50% of the hate directed at the Patriots. And the arrogance of the Boston sports fans stirs that jealousy even more. Another 25% of the hate can be attributed to the Tuck game, Spygate, Deflategate, and D Ford lining up off sides. The Patriots are viewed as lucky and sneaky. But it's the last 25% we're going to talk about today. A portion of the hate directed at the New England Patriots is racial. In a league dominated by African-American players, the Patriots are the outlier. They are the suburban two-parent home team of perceived white privilege. The Patriots are Duke basketball. Think about it. When you recall the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers, here's who you think of: Terry Bradshaw, Chuck Noll, Franco Harris, and Mean Joe Green. Think about the San Francisco 49ers of the 1980s. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Bill Walsh, and Ronnie Lott. The Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Jimmy Johnson, and Jerry Jones. The Patriots of the last 20 years, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, Rob Gronkowski, and Julian Edelman. The Patriots look like Duke, and in this era of fake woke, it's cool and socially acceptable to hate Brady, Gronk, and Edelman. It's like hating J.J. Redick, Grayson Allen, and Christian Laettner. Hating the Patriots and Duke is the international signal that you're pro-black and free of racism. Hating the Patriots is the default position for people who just can't muster the phoniness to pretend Colin Kaepernick is the modern-day Muhammad Ali. Hating the Patriots is down low taking a knee. So when I hear black players such as Ram slot corner Nickell Roby-Coleman talk about how much they hate the Patriots in profane terms, I know they're bothered by the fact that some white dudes got the best of them. It's no different from when Tiger Woods won his first Masters title and Fuzzy Zeller started popping off about fried chicken. Fuzzy was like, it wasn't racial. Everybody likes fried chicken. White people just don't know how to season it. I'm not saying you can't dislike the Patriots. I spent my entire childhood loving Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers and disliking Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics. There's a significant difference between dislike and hate. When you dislike something, you can still respect it and see its value. Hate makes you irrational and unfair. Hate is for losers, liars, and hypocrites. Hate says more about you than them. The Patriots, they're too great to hate. Okay, joining the desk now are former NFL Pro Bowlers Greg Jennings and TJ Houshmandzadeh. Marcellus, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Do you believe a portion of the hate of the Patriots is because of race?
Ooh, this topic is spicy. We could go a lot of places.
He emphasized that portion, too.
Yeah, he did, portion. I just want to make sure that I use a premise that is fact-based. I'm going to go with some numbers before I really opine into what I feel. Patriots, looking at their roster, 66% of it is black. Okay, and you're like, dang, all right, is that a lot, is that not? NFL average has been reported at 70%. But then I started to say, just in perception, a lot of this is a perception argument. What's the blackest team in the NFL? Just in perception. And I was like, damn, probably the Baltimore Ravens for me, you know. Even the uniform black. You know what I'm saying? Damn, they got a quarterback by the name of Lamar Jackson. Pretty black. Yo, running back named Gus. Black people don't even call themselves Gus no more. Jethro, Gus, that's all they. Cornelius, we don't do that no more. So I'm like, black team. And then I looked at the numbers, I said 64% black, a little less black than the Patriots, which are perceived as a white team. So when you start looking at these numbers, it's like interesting. And then I started to remind myself, the Patriots dynasty, when it began, and I was still in the league playing against the Patriots in the same division, it wasn't about Tom Brady and the so-called white players. It was about players like Vince Wilfork, Willie McGinnis. Should I talk about Kyle Law, Rodney Harrison,
Richard Seymour.
I mean, it was some brothers out there.
Rabel.
But you know what's funny? Let me sum this up because I know we all got to get in on this. The only thing that makes the Patriots seem white is not because of their owner is white. That's almost every team, right?
That is every team.
Every team. Minority owner, one team. Yeah. We got coach, white. That's damn near every team. Quarterback, that's damn near every team. Tight end, that's a little split. There's a lot of great white tight ends. It's because they got a white receiver at the number 1 position that it kind of skews this and makes us think that they're a different team than they are. All I'm saying is I don't think that this hate is about the race. It's about the lack of personality. You said it best. You're at the top that long, and then we don't get anything from you. You keep it close to the vest. But when we do hear noise from New England, it's in scandal. We never hear noise in terms of personality and persona. It's scandal. So I think that's where all the hate comes from.
For me, it's the receiver position is predominantly been dominated by the African-American, the black athlete. It's what you said. Julian Edelman is their best receiver. Chris Hogan plays quite a bit. Dorsett plays here and there. Before that, it was Wes Welker as Danny Amendola. That's why I wouldn't say it's about race. It's more so because people are tired of them winning. Let's just say what it is. Their first Super Bowl with Brady and Belichick was basically my rookie year, and they're in another Super Bowl. And so, to me, it's about them winning. A lot of it has to do with 2002, when they won their first Super Bowl, when people assume they cheated and recorded the Rams walkthrough. And then 2007 with Spygate. And then 2015 with Deflategate. That plays a part into it. But in my opinion, their skilled players have been white. You have Rex Burkhead comes over from Cincinnati. Yeah. You have the other little running back that left. Danny Woodhead. And so it's the skilled players because we're not used to seeing it. And again, Bill Belichick keeps everything close to the vest, and it's just different than everybody else because I'm like you. I do perceive them to be just one of those teams that they're skilled guys. They don't fit the bill of us playing, so to speak.
For me, I don't think it has anything to do with race.
Nothing.
Nothing. I think more than nothing. When I look at the New England Patriots, the issue is Bill Belichick understands what he's looking for. Where most coaches, they say, I'm going to put the best 11 guys on the football field. Belichick, he kind of goes above that. He not only is going to try, he says, you know what, I'm not just going to put the best 11, I'm going to put the best 11 that work within what I do and what we want them to do. And a lot of times, your black athletes, because they're so talented, they kind of buck that because they want to do a little bit more on their own. They want to freelance. Where you look at these guys that they had.
It to race.
I did.
I caught that.
I did. But I'm saying what I'm saying is you have a lot more talent that thinks, you know, my talent supersedes what you're doing and how you want to get it done. But from a player's perspective, looking at them, you don't look at the New England Patriots and say, oh man, I hate them because they are a bunch of white guys. No, they win.
No, it's never that simple. It's never that simple. But the perception of privilege, a lot of times in this country, in this conversation, goes along racial lines. And the Patriots, because of some of the things they've gotten away with. But again, I'll just go back to, let me ask you this. What do you think about the way people hate Duke basketball? Do you think race plays a role in that?
I think it did. But see, we skew it because Duke with Grayson Allen, even with J.J.
All the way back
Redick,
to Leitner, Danny Ferry.
Now, when Christian Leitner was there, you had a lot more guys that were of color that leaned more to, you know, they can blend in a little bit. You had the Grant Hills that everybody kind of called Grant Hill. You know, Grant Hill is
he's a two-parent kid. I get it.
Yeah. But when you look at Duke now, they're not. They're not that.
That perception is still there with Duke and Coach K.
It's 100% it's with Duke. It's 100% that perception with Duke is because.
And so, again, you can't tell me my analogy of Duke and New England, and I get your stats this year, about 66% of their roster.
Yeah.
I've been writing and talking about this issue with the Patriots for years. They're used to, previous years, you can go back in the early 2000s and stuff like that, 54% of their roster was black. as opposed to the rest of the NFL. So just like there's carryover with Duke, I'm sorry, it's just factual. I know what it was when I was a kid, and it was Magic Johnson and versus Larry Bird and the Celtics. That, and again, I never hated them, but I did just like them, and I was passionate about Magic and those guys. Y'all can't sit here and tell me.
Y'all, I gave you credit,
Okay.
and I want to give you credit, but I want to add something to it. First, I got to keep it fact-based. 4 of the 6 Patriots captains are black. The white delegation elected black representatives, okay? Because it's a black team. 2, if you look at their only 2 Pro Bowlers, half of them, 1, is black. This is a black team. Now, I want to go to where you are. I know where you are.
But again, who's the face? When you think of the Patriots, you get along. It's hard to even name. Who are their black stars? It's,
Sony
again,
Michel.
I'm talking about for fans.
Stephon Gilmore.
He just got there. Sony Michel.
James White. James, I'm talking about who balling right now.
But the reason your perception is
none of them bigger than Edelman, Gronk, Brady.
It's because the skill position players are always to the forefront.
The stars.
The quarterback, the running
stars.
back, the tight end and or receiver. And in the Patriots, in 95% of the teams, it's the African-American, it's the black player at running back. It's the black receiver. It's the black tight end.
And they don't have that.
And the Patriots do not have that. And so, as an athlete, it is what it is. We've gone against a white DB and was like, ain't no way he's stopping me. People won't say that. People will not say that on TV.
Right.
But when I remember we had a white DB with the Bengals named Kevin Caseforhorn. And I was like, bro, ain't no way. And why? That it just happens because you never see him. It's almost like it's a unicorn. It's like, oh, nah, he ain't shutting me down
But TJ,
today.
stop.
That's just the reality of it.
No, it was the reality. And then some things happen. In sports, especially football, you learn that dudes could be big on the bus and little on the field.
100%.
And then we started to learn, don't let the paint job fool you. I remember in story.
Not saying that thought is correct. Just
I used to think like you.
perception.
I was let's start, we're in the 80s as you're talking about how this all began, it felt like. We were on a Pop Warner team that had never lost a game. We get to the championship game of my 5th year, never lost a game. We're all black. And we see a team over there, and it was half black, half white. And immediately you're like, damn, they as good as us? And then what you're talking about, the talent gap was, we had the talent. But it was the
In
curse.
your mind.
No.
Right.
No. It became what I now realize, what we're talking about now. The curse of the gifted is that you will skip some steps in fundamentals because of that extreme talent. So what happens is the Patriots have realized that we don't always need the guy who's going to win the combines because we need the guy.
Is it really skipping that step, or is it that you're just so physically talented that you believe in your ability, and so you don't pay attention to all?
You
skip that step. How is that skipping a step?
Because you're not going to do the little details that somebody who is not as talented or as gifted has to do. Think about what Tom Brady, with him comparing himself to LeBron James and then talking about his intangibles. He's not as physically gifted as most quarterbacks in our league, but he knows there's some things that I do.
But the quarterback position is more mental than it is physical.
I get that. But you got a lot of guys, skill position guys, who will look at a Harrison out of Minnesota or Julian Edelman with the Patriots. These guys, white guys that understand. Adam Thielen. I have to work a little bit harder than you because the misconception is my talent level isn't up to par where yours is, just off scratch.
And look at the draft positions of all those star white players playing skill positions. Lower. And you can be black, white, whatever color. You get drafted lower, immediately you're thinking, I got to do everything. I got to bring the apple to the coach every single day to make sure I am in favor. So this whole argument is about what used to be. But we have learned through experience, at least I have, not to just. The muscles could be foolish. They're not all workable.
I get it, but I just don't think perception that's been built over a long period of time changes instantly because the reality has changed. Let's say I drop 100 pounds. People's perception of me is still going to be the fat guy. And it doesn't matter that I may show up one day looking like T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Oh, that's big old Jason Whitlock, and I have all these thoughts about him that I carry on from the years when I've seen him when he was a big dude.
Yeah.
And so, again, the perception of the Patriots, and to me, a lot of the hostility you can trace it to the 25% of the hate, in my opinion, is about they white dudes, a perceived white team dominating a predominantly black league. They're like the minority, man, and they're treated like a minority.
You didn't learn from the Duke beating the Fab Five. I mean, I learned it from my own experiences. I told you about just growing up, and I'm like, this white dude better than the black dudes, and let's just leave that alone.
People hate Duke, Marcellus, and they're very comfortable hating Duke.
Yeah. There was a day.
Still to this day.
Look, some things have
Because
changed.
of what happened years
Y'all know,
past.
all right, there was a day where they said white people couldn't dance. Watch some videos now. They dancing. You see the world championships of dance. It's like, oh, they ain't got no booties. Like, we got to get out of.
Still perceive.
People still. Have y'all been walking down the street lately?
People still perceive that they can't dance. And so.
And they can't jump. Are you kidding me? Like, white dudes have won the dunk contest. Like, can we. I know where you're coming from because I'm from that place, but hasn't experience taught all of us it's not the same anymore?
It certainly has taught me, and that's why, again, I don't spend any time really hating anybody. Now, I may dislike some things, but hating, no dice. And so, again, when I hear Roby Coleman hate and other people are comfortable talking about their hate of the Patriots, I go, you fuzzy zealot.
But he gonna have the funny thing about Nickel Roby Coleman saying that is the guys he talking about, he better go do something this Sunday about it because he gonna be face to face with them all game.
One more question.
And trust me, I guarantee you, those guys, Edelman, Hogan, they thinking, you don't respect me
Edelman,
because of this shade.
I've trained with Edelman. He gonna trash talk Nickel Roby Coleman the whole
People get Edelman
game.
twisted.
He's a dog. He gonna trash talk him the whole game.
One more question, Whitlock, for all the white pundits that are criticizing the Patriots, predicting their early demise.
I told you it's the international signal. I told you what it's for. They fronting. Look, see, I hate the Patriots just like you. I'm free of race. It's all a little smoke signal, man. Now, look, some people don't like the Patriots. They've been on top too long. We don't like champions this long, this dominance this long.
Anybody like that.
The Patriots fans are arrogant. Some people go into that. But there is this element that's driven by the fact that they're doing something. Just same reason there were some people that didn't like Tiger Woods coming to golf and clowning that way. Yeah. And there were some people that had a problem with it, and some of it was related to race. We're capable of doing that exact same silly, stupid thing, and we need to cut it out. Stick around. Later in the show, we'll give you our approval ratings for the Patriots dynasty, and Uncle Jimmy's going to weigh in. All right, Jimmy, you got any early thoughts?
If you can't hate in football, where the hell can you hate? This is the NFL, man. This ain't the NBA.
All right, Uncle Jimmy, we'll let you stir on that. Hey, guys. Jason Whitlock here. Thank you for listening to the Speak for Yourself podcast. If you like what you hear, then you should take a minute to check out the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast hosted by the Herd's very own Joy Taylor. On the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast, you'll tap into a different take on the world of sports. Joy will break down all the biggest stories from the NFL, NBA, culture, in and out of sports, and everything in between. So subscribe now for a weekly episode of Maybe I'm Crazy every Tuesday night on your favorite podcast platform. Now back to the show. Time for a big story. Let's move to Atlanta, where Roger Goodell held his annual State of the League press conference today. There was no shortage of questions about the controversial no call at the end of the NFC Championship game. Goodell tried his best to strike a sympathetic tone.
We understand the frustration of the fans. I've talked to Coach Payton, the team, the players. Whenever officiating is part of any kind of discussion post-game, it's never a good outcome for us. We have worked very hard to bring technology in to try to make sure we could do whatever's possible to address those issues. But technology is not going to solve all those issues.
Earlier in the day, Sean Payton addressed the media as well and talked about his struggles to get over the loss. But some observers thought he had an ulterior motive, pointing out that his shirt looked a lot like the notorious Roger Goodell clown shirt that Barstool Sports put out after Deflategate. All right, it's the shirt he's wearing underneath his shirt.
Right.
Barstool Sports is saying that he's wearing a Goodell clown T-shirt. And if so, I think it's inappropriate. It's why Sean Payton has possibly the biggest ego in sports, and certainly in the NFL. And he needs to get over his little tantrum and put it away. I think for Roger Goodell, this was a great day to sit up and just be talking about some on-the-field controversy rather than some really controversial off-the-field controversy. Great day for Goodell.
Yeah, so the question is he trolling?
Yeah, is he trolling? I'm sorry, yeah.
No, is he? I'm asking you first.
Oh, yeah, I think he's trolling.
Trolling?
Yeah, he's trolling.
Now, if I answer this, this is the real question. Is our checks going clear? Because this don't seem like this is real deep diving right here. Is you trolling the commissioner? One, it doesn't look like the same color. But two, that hairline peeking through that little zipper right there looks like that picture right there. So I would say yes. I had to go do a weather search. 49 degrees in New Orleans today. Yeah, windbreaker level, but is he trolling? Yeah, but that's who Sean Payton is. I won't even go trolling with him. I will go more of this is how I roll, and you can call that a troll. This is the same coach who curses at players when they're playing. Like, coaches, headset on, hey, what defense we calling? Not Sean Payton. He like, hey, bruh. And he is at the players as they're actively participating. So I think he is trolling for one purpose. It's us against the world. They are doing the emotional roll call that they did after Hurricane Katrina, different circumstances to get everyone rallied. Sean Payton is doing him because he's trying to get them rolling.
100% he's trolling them. And everybody wants to be politically correct in sports. When 2012, when Roger Goodell suspended Sean Payton, they will never be cool. Sean Payton will never look at Roger Goodell the same way. He might see him in front, oh, how you doing, Commissioner? But deep down inside, he dislikes him. He never will like him. And this is just icing on the cake, cherry on the top. Like, I mean, really, he should have started his interview like that and just said, let me just take this off and tell y'all how I really feel. Because 100%, that's the shirt. And because of that year suspension, he will never, I don't even think he respects Roger Goodell for that, because the majority of teams were doing what the Saints were doing, but you're going to give me a year?
Yes.
You're going to suspend me for a year?
Yes.
He doesn't respect Roger Goodell.
He suspended him for a full year. Are you kidding? And you mean I'm not going to work? He should have took off the sweater and just revealed the shirt, because that is definitely the shirt. But the reason why I don't mind Sean Payton doing this is to your point. This is who Sean Payton is. He doesn't even have to really reveal it. Roger Goodell know how Sean Payton feel about him. In the New Orleans Saints, that fan base, they know how they feel and our head coach feel about the commissioner. So I don't even have to. Y'all know what time it is. When have I come to a press conference with my shirt?
He's just going to give him a little glimpse, and somebody is going to be smart enough to...
Look, this is the world we live in. Somebody picks up on any and everything we do.
Probably tipped off. They were probably told in advance.
It's a good point.
Do this, probably tipped off. But let me ask this question, and I'll ask you hypothetically to Sean Payton. What did Roger Goodell have to do with that non-call? Did Roger Goodell tell somebody not to call, throw that flag?
But they don't do that to the snowball, because the snowball starts with a snowflake. But it starts to accumulate. And what is accumulated is since Bountygate, which every team was guilty of. Now you have something else that you can attach to it.
What was Goodell supposed to do? Throw the flag himself?
What he wants from Goodell is what everyone wants, which they're not getting. A little more transparency, which I don't think that Goodell should step in. I don't think Goodell should go there.
Al Riveron told him we blew the call.
Yeah, but he wants transparency to action. He doesn't want, and it's too soon to even expect that. But Goodell usually uses his Super Bowl press conference to start new rule change. He's done it before when he's like, hey, I want you guys to go out there and have personal fouls. If you get 2 of them, automatic ejection. He did that in the Super Bowl, and then they changed it 2 weeks later. I think Sean Payton was expecting a little more from Goodell.
I'll tell you a reason why. Because can Al Riveron just make the decision and make the nod and say the rules are going to be changed? Who has the final say?
How is calling the guy a clown going to get Roger Goodell to move your direction?
The point is, I'm going directly to the one who could change this. who has impacted our team, our
They
organization.
got a
me
competition
personally.
committee that Sean Payton's on that's going to decide this, not Roger Goodell.
But Roger Goodell always uses this moment during the Super Bowl to start new conversation and change.
Listen, man, the call was missed.
Yeah.
Like, Roger Goodell comes out and says, hey, New Orleans Saints fans, Sean Payton, Gail Benson, we're sorry the call was missed. What does that do?
Yeah.
It's over. I mean, it's nothing he can do or say. You're still going to feel the same way. Sean Payton still is not going to have any type of like in his heart toward Roger Goodell. Nothing's going to change.
Here's the other issue, and I'm telling you, I halfway like Sean Payton. But
Halfway.
this man, he needs some mirrors in his house. Because, trust me, there's some guys on his team, some of them 53, they would like to put on Sean Payton clown shirts, run the ball on first down, run the ball 3 downs.
I heard Drew Brees did that, not Sean Payton, but let's talk. I mean, I'm just saying, RPOs is a real thing.
He said it was a run play.
It was a run play.
Drew audibled out of it.
Option.
But he didn't want to throw Drew
Shouldn't
on the
even
bus.
give him
Run
that
the ball.
option.
Just run the ball. He could have took it out of Drew's hands. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, you don't do that.
His ego got in the way, man. He got into a little competition with Sean McVay. This guy's ego, he's pointing the finger. He needs to be looking in the mirror at what he's doing and what he's done. He's a part of the reason why it wasn't just the call. It's Sean Payton's a part of this too.
You know why he's really mad? He wanted New Orleans to win the Super Bowl this year so he could ride off to the sunset to Dallas. That's what was really. Now he's like, damn, I got to stay another year. Let's go.
All right, welcome back, Whitlock and Wiley. We're joined now by Fox NBA analyst Jim Jackson. Let's move to the NBA, where Anthony Davis was fined $50,000 after his agent Rich Paul said publicly that Davis wants to be traded to a championship contender. Even still, Davis is reportedly expected to put the word out that his preferred destination is the Lakers and that he'd just be a rental anywhere else. The banged-up star didn't play in the Pelicans' win over the Rockets last night and didn't address the media before or after the game. I think this is a situation where, and I don't know Anthony Davis that well, or I don't know him at all, but be careful what you wish for. Not everybody is built for the LeBron James circus, and particularly being LeBron James' understudy. Obviously, Kyrie Irving didn't handle it well. Obviously, you know, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade went through some struggles in Miami. And so I just think I worry about AD's ability. I look at Kevin Durant and the way he's handled the move to Golden State. He's going to be vilified a bit here, and I wonder if he can handle it.
It's interesting. The first thing you said is, I don't know Anthony Davis. I don't know a lot about Anthony Davis. Me either. And I think that's in part what's really giving this move energy. He wants to come to L.A. He wants to play with LeBron. He wants the big market. He's the third best player in our league, and some say even the best player in the league. And outside of Unibrow, what? Like, and he has a weird animal, I heard one time. What? Nothing. And I'd rather have some reputation than no reputation, no marketability. And with that level of game, like, you're not taking full advantage of it. So is he built for this? Where I'm from, where I think Anthony Davis is coming from is somebody's looking at him like, get under there and see if you can lift this. And if you can't, LeBron's there to spot you. And it's just that simple. I think this is a smart play for a guy who is not fully materializing and monetizing how great he is.
Well, he's been in New Orleans for 7 years, okay? And he's given this franchise everything he can. Now, despite him being hurt, this is a franchise that would not go over the salary cap to improve their roster. They did not re-sign Boogie. They did not re-sign Rondo, despite what happened last year in the playoffs. This is an organization that the president has dual roles, New Orleans Saints and also the Pelicans. So it's a lot of, there's a lot of instability in regards to what they want to do and how they want to build the team. And he's frustrated. Keep in mind, Anthony Davis is only 25 years old, okay? Because he's been injured, he came out later. Seems like he's been in the league 10 years, and he hasn't. I believe truly it's two things here if you're Anthony Davis and you're the Lakers. One is the short-term goal of being relevant and winning a championship. You do that in the next 3 years with LeBron there. Post that, it's like, okay, with the Lakers, we need to have a franchise-type player. Post that. So the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, Anthony Davis, if he chooses to come to the Lakers, the trade happens. he can be our guy. So it's two things you got to look at from the short term, if I'm Anthony Davis in the Lakers, and the long term. And the benefit is this: you learn how to win by playing with a guy like LeBron James. It may stymie you at the beginning, but the long-term effect is I'm going to be here once LeBron is gone. I'm going to take what I've learned and utilize that and build my own legacy if he happens to come to the Lakers.
Anybody remember when Dwight Howard joined Kobe Bryant?
He's not Dwight. He's not Dwight.
Well,
He's
Dwight
not
was coming off surgery
Bro,
as well.
He's not Dwight. Personality-wise, anything. He puts in the work a lot differently than Dwight. His attitude is a lot different than Dwight. So to compare those two,
Well, the Lakers, everybody botched that one, including Dwight.
Okay, but Dwight had led a team to the NBA Finals and nearly a championship.
but his whole demeanor changed.
His
whole
Dwight had
demeanor changed.
accomplished.
No, you're right. You did. He did.
Coming off back surgery, playing with Kobe, who's still in the oxygen, who's way more the alpha than you, just was bad.
Oh, and LeBron doesn't steal oxygen.
Well,
I can barely breathe right
I
now.
hear he's the greatest teammate. I hear he's the greatest teammate.
Oh, he don't steal oxygen. Ask Kevin
he
Love.
shares
Let me tell you something.
He shares.
Let me tell you
Kyrie
something.
Irving.
Let me tell you something. If I'm the guy, you want to steal oxygen? I got those 2 rings. Okay, I get my oxygen back with those rings. So the bottom line is, depending on the player, what do you want? You say you want to win, but now you got an opportunity to win. Well, I can't win the way I want. What you want to do?
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of people are like,
A lot of scrutiny here in Los Angeles. And again, we don't know virtually nothing except he got weird eyebrows. That's all we know.
I will say this too, and with Rich Paul and what they want to do to the timing of it is ironic in regards to next week and the trade.
that's going to play well in
But that's
LA.
gonna play well in LA.
You see La
He gonna
Cienega
get a
right
lot of eyebrow people that want to come at him like, bro, I got you.
I got
you
that.
need them trimmed up. Don't even worry about it. But think about the timing of this too. Is that Rich Paul and what they want to do is take control of the $50,000. That's been fine before because that's language that's detrimental to an organization, and that's been done. Steven Jackson had it, Nate Robinson had it. So that is it's nothing new. Even when the agent comes out and says it.
Right. New question.
question.
We talked about Anthony Davis. It's my contention that if this happens, AD leaves New Orleans in a huff, there's going to be some more heat on LeBron in terms of more criticism of LeBron. Like he done threw a tantrum. He sat out for a month, forced this trade. I think this is not going to help LeBron's legacy and reputation. For me, if you got to, and if Kyrie comes here with Anthony Davis, let's quit talking about LeBron and Michael Jordan. I don't ever remember Michael Jordan throwing a tantrum and making Kareem, Magic, and Larry Bird all come play with him. I just don't remember that.
Well, you know what's amazing? You're actually right in your assessment. This is going to hurt LeBron because you're splitting hairs between him and MJ. It's going to hurt LeBron because MJ's moves were done in the dark. No social media. The GM, the front office, things of that nature was really keeping a lot of things distant from the public. So. You made a great example yesterday in terms of dating, how you can't say exactly what you want to do and what you're going to do. And it's been many a times you've been there when you're about to shoot that shot, you better make sure you don't show the release, because if you shoot the shot too obviously, too overtly, you get what LeBron's dealing with. Everyone sees it coming. Everyone's saying they're calling it a tantrum. When MJ did it, they just saw it as a front office move. But it's the same action, same thing.
I don't see it hurting him. I see in the short term he gets a lot of negativity. What more negative comments or aspects can you have against LeBron James? I mean, he's gotten that. He's scrutinized ever since he got in the league. What happened in Miami was like he tried to play the villain. He got scrutinized over that. What more can you have? Now, keep in mind, too, Michael Jordan, as powerful and great as he was, it was Reinsdorf and Krause that decided to break up that team. He didn't have the power that LeBron James has. That's something that's totally different.
Yeah.
So how does it hurt LeBron? It hurts him today's narrative, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now when the league has changed, more players are taking more control, guess who's going to be the one that spearheaded that? Because the people that are writing that narrative will be a lot different than we are today.
But the facts will be the facts that in order to win his first championships, he had to go team up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. In order to win a championship in Cleveland, he had to bring Kevin Love in and benefit from, Kyrie Irving. Now he comes here to LA, and I got to have AD and maybe Kyrie Irving and hell, Carmelo Anthony and God knows Kevin Durant maybe. I just don't ever remember Mike being about any of that.
Different time, different era.
I understand it's a different time.
Different era.
But all Michael Jordan's going to get credit for doing the one-year deals at the max level, which really gave LeBron something to stand on to take his player control to another level. So Michael Jordan is tied to this loosely, but he didn't have the power.
Michael Jordan would never, ever, 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 if you brought him back today in his prime, he's not trying to team up with a bunch of other guys. He's trying to break your neck
You never
himself.
presented him with that option, you know?
If given that kind of come on, man.
Kareem did it.
Kareem did what?
When he demanded a trade for Milwaukee to go to the Lakers.
Uh-oh.
Who was here? Who was here? Magic wasn't there.
Magic wasn't there yet.
Because he's older than Magic.
I
Of
get
course
it,
he
but I'm
wasn't there.
just saying.
But he wanted to go somewhere else where he can win another championship. He didn't win a championship in Milwaukee. I'm going to say that Oscar Robertson, they needed each other. Kareem felt he needed to go somewhere else to win. So he demanded a trade back then to go to the Lakers. He did. A superstar at that time.
Look, man, we can't go all authentic. Kareem came here for the weed, man. Whitlock and Wiley. Got my Twitter off, time to get anti-social. My man Jim Jackson is back. My favorite segment. Darnell Smith, our social media manager. What's poppin'?
What's up, Jimmy? You feeling good, man?
See, there you go. You about to start.
Get him.
About to start. I got something for you.
All right, man. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to start with y'all guy LeBron, who was spotted on the bench last night having a sip of something. But Twitter thought it was more than just Gatorade. A lot of people assuming that wine aficionado LeBron snuck some vino into the court during the game. Look, y'all, I mean, we've seen Bron bring wine into the court before, so to me, it ain't that big of a deal. But what do you think?
Hold on, Jim, you called this game.
When he did that, the first thing I said, there's some vino up in there. It's a tab up in there. He's sipping on something. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that water bottle too nice for some Gatorade. Like, it was black and all
Probably
nice.
temperature control, keep it at about 65 degrees.
Yeah, look at
Keep
that
it
water
nice.
bottle. That ain't team issue right there. Nah, that's some of that. Oh, he got that $2 Chuck up in that thing too. Y'all like $2 Chuck?
No.
Old school, bro.
Charles
Come on, man. We elevated ourselves since then.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
just
gonna
paying
comment
more.
on
You
this
ain't
one.
elevated. You paying more.
I'm not gonna comment on this.
Why not?
I'm gonna sound like an old fuddy-duddy, man.
Go ahead. You
But
just
that
said
ain't
Kareem
nothing
on the
new.
weed.
You tell me you just said that
Kareem on
before.
weed.
What's the difference?
He on the bench with the players, man. Take it to the stands.
Oh, no.
on, man.
We used to eat hot
take it to
dogs
a
when we
suite.
weren't in the games. We used to.
You drink wine?
Alcohol, but not wine. Hey, if I'm
You got some clear liquid in there?
Yeah, if I'm hurt, we used to always spike our Pedialyte with a little thing, a little vodka Pedialyte. Yeah, you feel energy. You got some energy.
Darnell, what's next?
All right, man. Sticking with King James, rumors that LeBron and Kyrie Irving may team up in Los Angeles next year keep popping online. A lot of different reactions from NBA Twitter. We've got confused Celtics fans. We got angry Cavs fans. And turned up Lakers fans with their boy Jack Nicholson. Y'all think there's any chance that these two reunite in LA?
I think this is all a smokescreen. I think it's a head game they're playing with Anthony Davis. Why go to Boston? Kyrie wants to come here and play with LeBron. I think it's a smokescreen.
Oh, that's interesting.
I can't, man.
You
I just can't.
Can't
with
imagine
this, man.
it?
No, I just can't with this right now. The back and forth, the flip. I don't know what Kyrie gonna do, bro. I mean, he said he's gonna stay in Boston. But he said he plans on or something like that when they asked him the question about staying in Boston. He said he plans on staying or something like that, and it was never definitive. Like, yes, I'm saying I don't want to leave. I want this, but I can't with this right now.
America loves a great comeback story and a greater redemption story. Apologizing in public. When he apologized in public, I was like, that's for a reason. Because he could have just easily dialed that up, kept that on the low. He did that for a reason. Let's test the temperature. Oh, y'all want to see this. Now I'm going to give you what you want. I think this is real talk.
Dude, I think he would really put a clown suit on himself if he does that.
Why? LeBron only got 3 more years.
Dude, but you went to all that trouble, demanded a trade, left, went to Boston, which brand is just as big as the Lakers.
Right.
They got all that talent, and because you can't work it out with their young players, you gonna run off to LA too?
But how much is this too of because of the success they had last year, Kyrie coming back in, the question keeps going, is Boston better without Kyrie? So you know his numbers then spiked up since a lot of that stuff too, since he said that. Averaging over about 30 points a game, taking over.
I'm 26 years young, and when I was out last year with injury, y'all let this noise get to a deafening level, talking about y'all better without me. And y'all didn't win the championship. If you're going to say that, y'all got to go win it. Oh, y'all didn't? Now I'm going to show you who got the power. He's showing it in his numbers, and he's going to show it in his control.
Listen.
We're convincing you, huh?
Admit it. It's a clever smokescreen by Rich Paul and LeBron. They're playing a head game with Anthony Davis.
But why is Kyrie a part of that?
He's not a part of it.
He didn't want to apologize in public. You wouldn't give Rich Paul that ammo.
That was before.
You wouldn't give Rich Paul that ammo. We get you somewhere. We did you.
Man, Kyrie ain't going nowhere.
That was taking a shot at his young teammates. Anyway, Darnell, what's next?
Yeah, man, on Monday's episode of Fair Game, this clip of Christine Leahy and former running back Clayton Portis has been buzzing online. Take a listen.
Is it true that in Washington you would take a little sip of Hennessy before the games?
Yeah, but that's true. Like, I don't understand. If you're going out, right? If you're going out to have a good time, you pregame. So after I took that shot, it was like, okay, now it's time to go do this. Instead of going to lay down and take a Toradol shot, which all of a sudden comes out and it's hazardous to your health, it's dangerous for you, and all of this, like, I skipped that curve.
All right, y'all. Y'all buying this excuse for Portis pre-gaming?
Well, I'm actually wondering what was he thinking during the interview? What was he sipping on?
Wasn't there no ice in there too, Rick?
What was he sipping on during this interview? Look, did you see the way Clinton Portis used to dress up before games?
Yes.
This don't shock me.
Right in character, huh? Yeah, man. Look, I had teammates, never before a game did I saw this, but certainly nights before, and I had one teammate, big workouts, he took a fifth of hen and some blacks and beat everybody in the workout. So some guys just, that's their fuel. And he's right. He has a great point, even though we're going to laugh at it. Hey, man, y'all got drugs in one side. I wanted the alcohol, but I got the desired effect.
He wanted that hen dog, baby. He wanted. I played with a guy that would drink and have beers before the game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, part of it was what he couldn't help it. He had an issue with that, but it never stopped him. He can get a double-double within 13, 14 minutes, and it never bothered him.
Right.
So I'm not surprised if somebody does that. I know some guys who, you know what I mean? So, I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, and we do call it pre-gaming for a reason.
What?
Every time you got to go out,
Hold on, I had a guy, a teammate at halftime would go and take a cigarette, blow it up in the vent so nobody can smell it. Like, dog, you know we can smell it on your body, right? Just because you blew it in the vent, that don't mean that we can't smell it.
Now y'all gonna force me. We had a wide receiver on our college team. His name was Herb, and we called him Herb because he couldn't play unless he was on Herb. Couldn't play at all.
Where's my Herb?
I ain't gonna say his last name.
D.
Herb's Bobby Watson. All right. This is the last time you were here, we've added something new. Darnell's question of the day. Take it over, Darnell.
Let's see.
It's Darnell. My guy. My question of the day. My guy. My question of the day. 285 pounds.
You like that, don't you, Jimmy? Look at that. You like that a little bit. You like that, Jimmy.
What's the question, Darnell?
All right, man. So yesterday, you guys were talking about player mobility and Anthony Davis, and it made me think of a question of, or the point of, why do the old generation always hate on us millennials, right? You know, you guys say we're lazy, we don't work hard. You know, to me, I think we just found a more efficient way of getting things done. So what are your thoughts on millennials?
Don't lie. I'm gonna tell you my real thoughts.
Why you lying?
You ain't got to giggle.
I'm gonna keep it tight. I'm gonna keep it tight. My thoughts on millennials is that my generation and above has let y'all down. We didn't instill you with the values that were instilled in us. And so my disappointment is with us, not with you all as much. I think y'all feel like y'all have got things figured out. There's not the level of respect from the younger generation towards the older generation. That disappoints me, but I blame that on us more than y'all.
I love millennials. I love Gen Z. King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun, so every generation thinks theirs is greater. They have found a more efficient model. They are smarter, not working as hard. They respect what needs to be respected. We used to respect stuff, and then when we found the dirty details, we were forced to be silent about that and still had to respect. I like these kids. They're like, you got to earn this, brother. And if you don't, oh well. I am respecting this generation. I look forward to all their greatness.
I agree with you on this because when we coming in the NBA in the 90s, the guys looked at us differently. Even when I was growing up, when hip-hop first hit, it was like, man, what kind of music is this? What is it? You're always going to get that. And what I do love about millennials is this. Prove it to me. Don't just tell me this is the truth. I need to actually see why I have to do this.
Yeah, we question everything.
You know, you question everything. Now, some things you don't need to question, okay?
Right. Why?
When I tell you something, you listen to
See, that's what we grew up on. Hey, mama, why? Because I said so.
Don't say why.
But it don't make sense.
It don't make sense,
It
mama.
makes sense to take out the trash. It makes sense to keep the room clean. And you say why? No, that's what. But I do agree with you from this perspective that as an older generation, at times we failed them in regards to communicating the actual reasons why we want you to do things instead of saying just do it.
What generation you grew up in where your family was explaining all the
It wasn't about explaining. It was about earning the trust. And again, I think there's a lack of respect from them towards us because we didn't do enough work to earn their trust. That's my generalization.
Good question,
about the
man.
millennials.
Yeah, great question. Great question.
All right, thank you, Darnell. It's time for Dat Dudes Dudes. Marcellus, what you got?
Oh, the best 3 Dat Dudes of the year. What? I'm talking about the big uglies in the trenches. Jason Whitlock style. Let's go with number 3. Rams defensive end Aaron Donald, the Donald. Week 13, that dude of the week. Rams beat the Lions 30-16. You can see Donald right now bust through the double team and strips Matthew Stafford. Oh, my God. Dude, 20.5 sacks this year. We know who he is. Donald's lined up over the guard. He knows he's probably going to get double teamed by the center. But Lions center Graham Glasgow decides to give a punch to Ndamukong Suh. Ooh. And he sees that gap right there. You know, they on sale right now, them jeans. So Aaron Donald decides, let me go close this gap right now. And look at the pin down of the arms. And then the head position. Amazing you could get so many sacks by just proper head position. If his head was not upfield, he would not be in this position to get it. Now you can see him going through the gap, fighting, double team, hold, doesn't matter. And now he gets to Matthew Stafford, punches that ball out like a grizzly bear. Hunting for the fish. Got to get him, baby. Aaron Donald, 20.5 sacks. We know who you are. You're our number 3 Dat Dude of the week. Now, the year. See, I told you I was going to forget. Number 2, Texas defensive end, J.J. Watt, and he's here to sack.
You went big name.
Watt Sharp, because this dude did amazing things. Week 14, he was our Dat Dude of the week. Ended up with 16 sacks this year, 7 forced fumbles. Look at this get off. And get off, 22 positions in the one-night stand. Look at that get off. That's how you get off the rock. J.J. Watt realizes, you want to step down and go low? Come on, Braden Smith. You can do better than that. You're already on signal to J.J. Watt. I'm going to cross that and hit you with my old college swim move. The swim move has to clear. As you can see right now, it's not just about twisting your body and getting skinny in the gap, but you must clear the helmet. We've seen some bad cases of this. J.J. Watt, the technician, now knows that gap is quickly closing, so he has to get through there. He has to get through there tight like Indiana Jones in the movie. Get the rope. All right. Got skinny in there, got through that gap. Once again, head position. Man, defensive lineman out there, you got to know the little things matter. And now he locks that arm off. All these subtleties are happening. And then now he finds Andrew Luck, and he's a great white shark in the water looking for his kill. Why got to be white? Great white shark in the water looking for the kill. Andrew Luck, take that. J.J. Watt, number 2. Dat Dude of the year. But now, my favorite play of the year from any of these dudes in the trenches. Number 1 is the Ravens offside linebacker, Matt Judon. Triple sack, y'all. Week 12, Dat Dude of the week. This man had 3 sacks and 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. You can see him dominating Brandon Parker and running out the stadium. How's this all happen? First team, Brandon Parker's thinking on the last 2 plays, this is what happened. This dude has already beaten me for sacks. I got to be careful who I'm going against. So he's already worried and thinking about it. And look at Judon. Ooh, that right arm. He is setting him up, making it seem like I'm going inside. And look at that heavy punch. But look at it. Look at the body position. A little different from that. So now you put the foot down in the ground, hard anchor step. Remember that right arm for the setup? It's going to be a claw. Grab him, yank him. Oh, man. Watch Parker right now in this moment. This is Whitlock, Ball State style.
It is.
My man getting tossed all around. Hey, hands on the ground.
I've been there.
Bobblehead style. Judon got to walk it off. 3 sacks in the game. Hey, my man, Matt Judon, you are the dat dude of the year. Amazing.
I like Joel Smingy versus me in about 1988.
Ooh, Smingy, beast.
All right, thank you, Marcellus. Great job. Let's move to the Super Bowl, where the Maroon 5 will perform at halftime Sunday, but won't be talking before the big game, with their pre-Super Bowl press conference canceled after backlash from the music world over the league's alleged mistreatment of Colin Kaepernick. In lieu of a press conference, the league and the group donated $500,000 to Big Brothers Big Sisters, just a couple of weeks after the NFL donated another $500,000 to a social justice charity. All right, I think Maroon 5 and the NFL have made the right decision. I think the league wanted to avoid having some hour-long press conference about Colin Kaepernick, which would have driven 2 days worth of Colin Kaepernick think pieces and would have put a Colin Kaepernick shadow over this Super Bowl. I think they did the right thing here, canceling this press conference.
Yeah, smart play here. I would think it is initiated by Maroon 5 and their PR, thinking you're not qualified, you're not the people to address this. Super Bowl week, all this attention. You don't want to get out there and the first question is just a softball. Oh, how does it feel to be the Super Bowl performance? But question 2 through 3,000 will be about you're going against what everyone's saying, the boycott and Colin Kaepernick, et cetera. And that's not what they're there for. So why make that headline trump the performance? So this is a smart play. And you got to also think about the next performers and what starts to happen if you're the performer for next year. You're taking notes, you're taking cues. You're like, if you're gonna get exposed and hung out to dry like this by the NFL for just doing this performance, it's gonna be very difficult to get more performance going forward. So I think all in all, smart.
Yeah, it was the right decision. And you also got to look at, it's in Atlanta. Atlanta is the mecca of the successful African-American, that's where they congregate, that's where they live, the actor, the entertainer, the hip-hop world, pretty much, that's Atlanta. And so it's already been a lot talked about of, why are they performing it? If it go in our culture, if we all say, oh, we're backing Kaepernick, then why are you performing? Travis Scott, why are you performing? And so to eliminate that, they want the performance to speak for itself. I think it was the right decision because you just don't know what would come of it.
Whoever made the decision, right decision, I agree with all of you. Number one, they're there to perform and entertain. That's why we're here. That's who we are. We collaborate with people of all colors and backgrounds and ethnic groups. So we're not going to speak on something that, to your point, we're not qualified to speak on. We're entertainers. That's our avenue. You like to talk about this all the time. We're staying on brand in what we do and who we are. This is who they are. They make good music. They entertain us. That's what I'm looking forward to them doing.
I'm going to say this for any of the media that may be critical of this or whatever, but if somebody is supposed to be upset about Kaepernick, why wouldn't it be the players? And so are they peppering the players with a bunch of questions about Colin Kaepernick, the actual NFL players?
Yeah.
Because, again, why are we putting this on musicians?
And not all musicians, because I keep getting alerts and invites from all these musicians who are performing at the Super Bowl, but they had
They're just not at the game.
I'm like, what the hell, y'all? Where the boycott at? I'm seeing these names. I'm just laughing at it. Like, what if Eric Reed would have made the Super Bowl? Where is that going? You know, it's like, it's just the hypocrisy. And then they're really like picking the lowest hanging fruit. Maroon 5, we gonna come at you. Stop that. Big boys don't even go there. Travis Scott, and everyone is like, even if you are for the cause, why we can't have multi-expression? Like, people gonna do it different ways. And then the last time I checked, a lot of boycotting artists are still in Atlanta out there performing.
Benefiting from the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
It's
So
just not, they're just not front and center. They're benefiting from it, it's just not front and center.
Boy, stop.
Let's return to Atlanta, where the Patriots are hard at work figuring out how to keep Tom Brady upright against the most dangerous pass rusher in the league, Aaron Donald. Bill Belichick is no stranger to great pass rushers, having coached one of the most disruptive forces in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor. But the coach isn't ready to put Donald on the same level?
Aaron Donald's a great football player. I wouldn't put anybody ahead of Lawrence Taylor. Taylor's the best I've ever seen, certainly the best I've ever coached.
I get his respect for Lawrence Taylor. They won Super Bowls together, and that kind of launched Belichick's career as an assistant coach. But I don't put Lawrence Taylor in a level all to himself. I think Reggie White as a disruptive force, right there with Lawrence Taylor. I think Deion Sanders, and I don't care whether people thought he could tackle or not. Deion Sanders as a disruptive force, is shutting down a half of the field in the passing game. I put right there with Lawrence Taylor. And then I put Ray Lewis there as well. I get Bill Belichick's deal. He loves Lawrence Taylor, but he's not, to me, head and shoulders above everybody.
Yeah, I think there's a tier one, and you named a lot of guys. You left one guy out.
Bruce.
Say his name again.
Smith.
Yeah, and say it how the crowd used to
Bruce
say
Smith.
Bruce. And they said his name at the D-line position more than any other D-lineman in history because he had the most sacks, and he did it in the 3-4. So Belichick, Coach Taylor, he got intimate experience, and I'm about to go and get on my podium for Bruce Smith. Woo! He played every position on the D-line. He played in a run defense 3-4 where if you get 5 sacks, we're like, yeah. This dude had 13 double-digit sack seasons, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and we're talking about, compared to Lawrence Taylor, more double-digit sack seasons, more Pro Bowls. Like, Bruce Smith is on that same tier. Now, I'm not going to argue anybody, is he better than Reggie White? Is he better than Lawrence Taylor? Anything? No. But he is of that same cloth, that same tier one where you couldn't block him. I saw it with my own eyes, the most talented defensive lineman I ever played in the game.
I mean, I wouldn't say I agree with Belichick, but he has firsthand knowledge of what LT brought to the table, obviously from coaching him. He saw him in practice. He saw the ins and outs. He knows the transgressions off the field that had he not had those, how much greater he could have been on the field. But when you start to say, oh, nobody's in that conversation, I agree with you guys. It's Mount Rushmore of defensive players, and if you say so-and-so is better, that's your opinion, but I'm with you with Deion, everybody. Deion made sports what it is as far as the flamboyance, the talking, and then he went out there and balled. Like, is what I said last week. If you say prime time or just prime, everybody knows who it is. And so, Bill Belichick, I see where you're coming from, but there's a lot of guys that are equal to Lawrence Taylor that played the game of football.
Not in his eyes, and I agree with him because of his firsthand experience and my firsthand experience of Tecmo Bowl. When I knew I was gonna play defense, I need somebody to stop Bo Jackson and those guys. Lawrence Taylor was the only one that could get it done. Yeah. And he did that in a video game, but it was real life. That's who he was. Yeah. He was like, there's not too many players, and I don't like to just focus on one thing, but Lawrence Taylor was born to play football. Like, that's who he is. That's what he does. And he did it at a high level. I love what he was able to do. Bill Belichick has a great point. You do too, but I like
your point here, like when he said that about Bruce Smith, I'm like,
yeah, but on Tecmo Bowl, he wasn't that special.
In case you, look, now we gonna start. I ain't gonna do this, but you know, Lawrence Taylor had a little help, a little jet fuel. You know what I mean? And look, let's just be real with it. Like that horse is undefeated. Like, ain't nobody ever beat the horse. And he was out there balling on the horse. Man, you can't do nothing with that. It's next level.
He didn't get penalized for that.
True.
Hey,
okay.
Listen.
Real talk. Okay.
I think Cowherd made a point that he thought that perhaps Belichick was slighting Tom Brady in some way with the second half of the comment, the greatest player I ever coached.
He said certainly,
greatest player I ever coached. And Cowherd said, I don't think he's slighting Brady in any way, because I think, one, I don't think he would have said these things about Lawrence Taylor in his prime. But there's something special about the person that made you. Lawrence Taylor put him on and put him into the game. Belichick in his mind is like, I put Tom Brady on and put him into the game.
Great point.
And so I just think he has such a reverence for what Lawrence Taylor has done for him when he sits there and like, man, they paying me $11 million a year.
It's the ultimate sign of respect for what he did.
LT started that.
Yeah, you know, and it's LT talent is greater than Tom Brady's. Accomplishment, you could say the same in terms of impact on position. You could say Tom Brady's the GOAT. A lot of people are saying, he's saying LT's the GOAT of all defensive players and players. So I think when you have to make a tiebreaker, it's the one you started with and the one who had more and did as much. So you're going to just lean that way. Tom Brady shouldn't feel slighted by that in one bit.
Tom Brady's still playing, though. You can't praise a player that much when he's still
when it's
playing.
over, they'll say something else. Uncle Jimmy's here to help us talk about our approval rating for the Patriots dynasty. Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy, welcome to the show. What is this today? What is this?
Who what? What I look like? Brother Harry Edwards. That's what. Excuse. What'd you ask me?
I said, who are you?
Oh, who am I?
Yeah.
Look on my paper, man. Mr. Edward Harry. Mr. Edward Harry.
You mean doctor?
Doctor.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Edward Harry.
You okay?
What's your doctorate in?
Doctor. I'm a doctor.
No patience.
Come on, doctor. What we doing? Come on, man. And put all this pressure on me.
My mother calls it being a ductor. You're a quack. That's what you are. You're a ductor. Yeah. All right.
Oh, so you hungry, huh? You making duck jokes.
All right, look, here's a highlight from our discussion earlier about the Patriots dynasty. The Patriots are the most hated dynasty in NFL history. Much of that hate can be attributed to the fact that they're the greatest, longest-lasting dynasty in NFL history. 2 decades is at least 1 decade too long to be on top.
I don't think that this hate is about the race. It's about the lack of personality. You said it best. You're at the top that long, and then we don't get anything from you. You keep it close to the vest. But when we do hear noise from New England, it's in scandal. We never hear noise in terms of personality and persona. It's scandal. So I think that's where all the hate comes from.
All right, we had a slight disagreement. I think a little bit more of it has to do with race.
Yeah.
Well, Marcellus thinks it's about scandal. Anyway, Uncle Jimmy, what's your take?
First of all,
Or
Dr. Edward Harry.
I'm sorry, Dr. Edward Harry, what's your take?
First of all,
What?
Dr. Edward Harry is not going to let you do this, man. I'm not going to allow you to eliminate hate from football. You always talking about, you say, iron sharpens steel.
No, I say
Bro.
iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpen iron. Hate sharpen football. You think Dick Buckus didn't hate the Packers? No?
A little bit.
You think Mike Singletary didn't hate the Lions? You think William Refrigerator Perry didn't hate fat-free cheese? Here's one for you, Jason. Check this out. Let's try this one again. Let's make football hate again.
No.
Make football hate again.
We got too much of that. We got enough of that.
we got
Don't
enough
do
of
that. Yeah, calm down. Brother.
Listen, Merkulis. Don't go soft on me like the Pillsbury bro boy over there, all right? You ain't gonna make me apologize for hating Tom Brady. Not gonna happen. And the Rams ain't gonna let it happen either.
Ooh.
And man, let me tell you something. Nickel Nickel Coleman, he better not stop hating Tom Brady either. Because he gonna need that hate. He gonna need that to take him out.
No. Nothing great comes from hate.
And it rhymes.
You sound like a crazy man.
Nothing great comes from hate.
How you gonna tell me don't nothing great come from hate? I done had 5 divorces. 5 of the greatest days of my life. All 5 of them been a product of hate in some form or another. I mean, if without hate, I'd still be married to Maydessa and all of her credit card and QVC debt. And hate is why the Rams is gonna spank that ass on the Patriots this Sunday night.
I don't think hate's gonna be the reason, though. That ain't it.
And that's because y'all don't know a damn thing about football.
Oh, really?
Look at, man, this ain't the NBA. Everybody ain't best friends. We ain't sitting up braiding each other hair, getting matching tattoos together. Look here, man. Y'all know on the real, y'all know Akeem Talib is a serial chain snatcher.
Yes.
Huh? You know Ndamukong Suh is the black Conrad Dobler.
What?
Oh, Kyrie, that's a nice
And for real, now look, now I know Marcus Peters from back in Kansas City. And there's always that one brother that you know ain't right. and you know Marcus Peters ain't right. He gonna come up on the Edelman before the game talking about, yo, cuz, what set you claiming, fool? Hey, man, the Rams is gonna run the Patriots straight up out of Atlanta back into the suburbs.
Interesting.
And I'm gonna love it.
Don't believe it.
I'm gonna love it. You know why? Because I hate the Patriots. And you know who I love? I love Colin Kaepernick.
Here you go. All right, look. All right, here we go. I ain't even gonna touch it. Dr. Edward Harry.
Dr. Edward Harry.
Patriots Dynasty approval rating. Job performance. Hey, how can you can't question anything. 25.
No.
The greatest dynasty in football history, gotta be a 25. Character, they got a lot of gates.
A lot of gates.
Got a lot of gates. So I'm gonna
love gates.
Authenticity. I do love Gates Barbecue. Authenticity. I'm gonna go with 20. You know that D Ford offsides deal drops him a pointer.
Yeah, I mean, job performance, shut up. All-time greatness, the gates start to creep into the conversation when you compare them to other dynasties. Certainly my character is low because they burned the tapes. It's not so much the gates, it's like, where's the tapes? And
Smash and Snell phone.
I mean, he destroyed. Who has ever went to the cell phone store without the cell phone? Like, come on, man. But they still amazing to me.